Hello, my name is Ahmed Mary, and to be honest, I was confused. I didn't know what to choose for a topic, and because I didn't know if you guys going to benefit from it or not, but I chose one already. So my topic today is about internationally, and I'm here today to share my experience, and just to say that there's nothing hard. All we have to do is work hard, even if it's going to take a longer time to accomplish wherever you want. So before I start my story, I would like to introduce myself more. I was raised and born in Saudi Arabia, and I graduated from there too. And the reason why I'm telling you this, because we have, as Saudi Arabia and here, there's a big difference between the cultures. So in our culture, our parents are responsible for our allowance until we finish university, or sometimes in some cases until we get married. It depends on the parents' financial status. So I've never even thought for 1 second that I would travel to Canada. So one day I was sitting in my home, especially exactly at the last day of the last semester of the high school. So my dad asked me a weird question, was, what do you think if I send you far away from here to study? So I asked him another question. I was like, how far? He was like, what do you think of Canada? So me and my mother was in a room, and my mother said immediately no, because I'm the oldest one, my brothers, and I've lived 18 years with my parents, and that was a shock for my mother. And the shock for me was because I was afraid, and that's why I'm doing my speech today, because I was afraid to come here, and I doubted that I will pass and succeed in here, because I'm not fully prepared. As I graduated from Saudi Arabia, high school from Saudi Arabia, I'm not fully prepared for this kind of studying what I'm taking right now. So I said no. As I said no. So he didn't say anything. But after 2 weeks, I was sitting, watching TV, and he just came home, my dad, and he said, Ahmed, be ready, I already applied for you to the Canadian Embassy, and I applied for the visa. At that time, I was so mad because I refused. And he said, I applied for you. So we argued for a little bit, and then he convinced me with one quote, I can say it, was, I believe in you. That the word that gave me a push to say yes, and he convinced me. So immediately after the conversation we had, I went to an institution. I registered for intensive English courses for 2 months until I get a reply from the Canadian Embassy. So after exactly 2 months, I got a call from Armex, and it says, we got an envelope for you from the Canadian Embassy. I went there as fast as possible to get my passport back. So I went there, I took the envelope, I opened it, and I took my passport. It was opened on the page which has the visa on it. At that moment, I jumped out of my seat in the car because I was so happy, because I knew that moment that I'm going to Canada. I'm going to know a new people. I'm going to a new country. I'm going to learn about a new, different culture. So I was happy. After 20 days, I packed my stuff. I said goodbye to my friends, to my family, and I left Saudi Arabia and I came here. Within 30 hours of traveling and getting lost in Heathrow, of course, a few times, I arrived at Ottawa International Airport, and trust me, it's the worst feeling you will ever had, that you don't know anyone here. I don't know what Canada is. That's the first time I've been here. So the only thing I knew is the college resident address. That's it. So I took a cab. I went to the resident. For the first month, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything except the resident. That's it. I don't know how to go and do grocery shopping. I didn't know how to go and have fun. Where? I didn't know even how to go to the bus. I don't know where the station is. So I stayed almost 1 month. I didn't know anything. So after that, the college started, and I did my ESL placement test. And for international students, we're required to have a TOEFL or IELTS to get into the program immediately. But I didn't have this TOEFL or IELTS, so I had to do the placement test in ESL. So I did it, and they put me in level 3. So I spent 2 weeks exactly in level 3, and I found it way too easy, to be honest, because I studied this stuff back in Saudi Arabia. So I asked the teacher to be moved. So she asked me to do a paragraph, and she will send the paragraph to the professor at level 4, and she will determine if I can go to level 4 or not. And I got accepted in level 4. So I finished level 4, then I finished level 5. After I finished level 5, I've heard about the CAN test, which is similar to IELTS and TOEFL, except it's for our college and free for the students. Well, used to be. Now it's worth money. And so I said, why not? I'll try it, and I will know how these English exams goes, and I might pass it. I don't know. So while I was doing level 6, I studied more for the CAN test. I bought books about the CAN test specifically, and I studied for 2 months. So after I finished the level 6, I did the CAN test, and I was stuck in the middle because we had a week off after level 6, and now I'm stuck because I don't know if I should register for the level 7 or I have to wait for the results and I might pass. So I choose to wait. After 10 days, 2 weeks, something like this, I got a phone call from a registration office. It says you scored 60 out of 70 at the CAN test and you passed and you got accepted in marketing, business marketing diploma 2 years, and your acceptance is ready to be picked up from our office. To be honest, at that moment that was the happiest moment of my life, because now I have something, like I have the acceptance. Now I have a path. I have something that I did by myself. The second thing is I made my dad proud of me, and he was right. He believed in me, and I don't believe in myself. And the last thing is that I learned a new language in 6 months, and that's impressive for me. So here I am. I'm a business marketing student, and I'm this close to finish my first year, exactly 20 days after now. And in conclusion, I would like to say that there's absolutely nothing impossible, especially when it comes to ourselves. And even if we fail, that it's nothing that we should be ashamed of, because we will learn, and we should learn from our mistakes and become more successful in life. And for people who are afraid for having new experience, I was one of you. I was afraid, but I'm here, and I have my experience right now, and I was wrong. I was very wrong at the first beginning, because if I didn't came here, I would miss like a lot of things that I will tell for my children's maybe. And since I'm here, I would like to thank you for listening, and I hope you benefit from it. And since I'm standing here, I would like to thank the teacher and especially my father, because without his support I wouldn't even be here standing and doing my speech.